all aspects of this point to preferential treatment for the Biden White House.
What would Republicans point to as a two-tiered system of justice when the president's son was just convicted of a crime? I mean, if anything, this shows the difference that Democrats are willing to accept when our justice system works as functioned and as designed. We're not here contesting the results. We're not here trying to defund the FBI or the Department of Justice because we don't like the outcome of a given trial. And what we're also seeing here is the stark contrast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So a president who respects rule of law and is willing to accept the outcomes of a case, even if that outcome is not in favor with his family or his personal, outcomes. Whereas you have Donald Trump, who takes and weaponizes the seats of government, the seats of power, and embarks on a campaign of political intimidation in order to wrest and secure outcomes that personally benefit him.
Oh, that's gotta hurt!
Well, this one goes out to the both sides are the same contingent. As news broke this week that a federal jury found Hunter Biden guilty on 3 federal charges in a case brought by special counsel David Weiss, there was a variety of reactions across the political spectrum. You had the president himself release a statement respecting the rule of law while simultaneously lending support. Then you had this on QAnon mainstreamed. The ever so hot take that Democrats secretly coerced the conviction of Hunter Biden so that it gives room for Michelle Obama to run. I mean, what goes down well with snake oil? Is it the brain pills that you get on Rogan?
I think it also creates an opening for Democrats to slip someone like Michelle Obama in here. The Biden family can say, hey, we're going to take care of our house, we're going to take care of our son, and then allow Michelle Obama to come in and run, because again, Joe Biden can't win this election, and they know that, and they are desperate for another candidate.
I got to tell you, I am increasingly thinking that Joe Biden withdraws from this race by the time November 5th comes along. I am buying into what you're saying there, because I agree that the Democrats are desperate right now. They are very worried.
Aside from this blatant nonsense, AOC and Jamie Raskin went on MSNBC with Chris Hayes to discuss the clear and present disparity between both candidates and how they feel about rule of law. One, understanding that while he may not agree and feel a certain which way about his only living son possibly going to jail, respects the verdict made by a jury. And the other, well, he takes to a dangerously dehydrated crowd and instills the idea that if the justice system can come for a thrice married billionaire found liable for sexual assault convicted of trying to cover up an affair with a porn star to influence an election, they can come for you too.
And they're so eager to be servile sycophants to Donald Trump that their political judgment is off, because that's not where the public is. And the public understands with the Hunter Biden verdict and the Donald Trump verdict, the rule of law is just working, and they're intervening, as you say, in a state case in order simply to placate Donald Trump.
Precisely. And what we're also seeing here is the stark contrast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And in President Biden, we have both, yes, a loving father who is there to be supportive of his son, but also a president who respects rule of law and is willing to accept the outcomes of a case, even if that outcome is not in favor with his family or his personal, outcomes. Whereas you have Donald Trump, who takes and weaponizes the seats of government, the seats of power, and embarks on a campaign of political intimidation in order to wrest and secure outcomes that personally benefit him. And that, at the core, is part of the stakes of our democracy that are before us today. Because once rule of law goes out the window, it is not something that is easy to get back. And it is very much a part of the decision that we have to make before us in the next few months.
And as CNN's Abby Phillip pointed out in her segment, this is echoed across the Fox News airwaves, where they swiftly pivoted from singing the ballad of poor old Donald Trump to this is how the justice system works in regards to Hunter.
The split screen of conservatives who just 12 days ago were slamming the rule of law, slamming the judge, the jury, and the verdict in Donald Trump's Manhattan trial. Some even claimed the conviction was the end of the Republicans we know it. But tonight, they seem to be singing from a completely different tune.
This is a new era in America, and I think it goes against the ilk of who we are as Americans and our faith in the criminal justice system. In the end, this jury of ordinary people from Delaware were not intimidated by that family, and they recognized that this was a clear-cut case and that clearly no one's above the law.
This is a very political exercise, and you have to say that it accomplished what it set out to accomplish.
But I would say this about Judge Noreika. I think she ran a very fair courtroom. She ran a very fair trial.
I guess we all need, to shop at Banana Republic from now on? Because that's what it feels like. Yeah, a Banana Republic.
For years, the Bidens have been able to escape any legal accountability for their sleazy, corrupt conduct. But today, their luck ran out. At least Hunter's did.
Power is all they love. And they're willing to do anything to cling to it. They're willing to destroy the rule of law. The Republic has been wounded by weak lawyers and talentless political bloodhounds. It gave me a little boost of confidence in the American legal system, although they still have a lot of work to do to win me back.
I believe that there was a conscious collusion of allies that came together. It's pretty obvious, with a private strategy to eliminate a common shared adversary. Hunter's going to jail, so Joe doesn't have to. And when he comes out, he'll be rewarded for his loyalty, like a made man in a Biden crime family. This is a distraction from the influence peddling and the kickbacks.
Yes, these are two different trials under very different circumstances. Hunter Biden was federal. Trump's was not. The crimes and the evidence all completely different. But you can't claim the justice system is dead because of a single conviction while also praising it for another. And you can't claim President Biden is weaponizing the Justice Department to go after his enemies when that same department just convicted his own son. But in a world of MAGA, perhaps you can.
But look, it's not just in the case of the justice system. We know that Republicans towing the party line for Trump have all blatantly refused to guarantee a peaceful transfer of power if they lose in November. But they'll be all smiles if they win.
We are getting more and more reaction on this, Lester, as the hours and the minutes have passed since that verdict came down. Notably, of course, from former President Trump, Hunter Biden's father's political opponent in the November election here. And the Trump campaign is railing against what they see as essentially an investigation that did not go far enough, saying it is nothing more than a distraction from what they describe as the real crimes of the so-called, again, their words, Biden crime family here, saying that this all comes down to November 5th. That, of course, is Election Day.
Yeah, I mean, and Liam, the Trump campaign saying in a statement, we put this up on screen, this trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family. And Liam, people buy this stuff.
The literal stance, right, regarding anything, and I mean anything at all when it comes to MAGA Republicans, can be boiled down to this. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Will you accept the election results of 2024 no matter what happens, Senator?
No matter what happens? No, if it's an unfair election, I think it's going to be contested by either side.
Senator, no matter who wins.
I think you're asking the wrong person. The Democrats are the ones that have opposed every Republican victory since 2000. Every single one. It's Hillary Clinton.
No Democrat has refused to concede. Hillary Clinton conceded. Senator, will you accept the election results?
Hillary Clinton said the election was stolen from her and that Trump was illegitimate. Kamala Harris agreed.
Senator,
we have Democrats now.
Senator, she conceded the election. She said that Trump was illegitimate. She said that the election had been stolen. Kamala Harris agreed. By the way, there are Democrats serving in Congress today who in 2004 voted not to certify the Ohio electors because they said those machines had been tampered with. And you have Democrats now saying they won't certify 2024 because Trump is an insurrectionist and ineligible to hold office. So you need to ask them. I think have you ever asked a Democrat this question on your show? I bet you've never asked a Democrat that question. Senator, you voted to certify the 2020 election, and here is what you said on that day that you voted to certify the 2020 election.
Yeah. Democracy is held together by people's confidence in the election and their willingness to abide by its results.
So by your own definition, are Donald Trump's claims undermining Americans' confidence in democracy, given that he has not conceded the last election, and he just said in recent days twice that he won Minnesota?
Senator.
It's Republicans have twisted themselves in knots. It's just a yes or no
question. I'm not twisting myself.
question.
I'm answering your question. You just don't like my answer.
And what's your answer? Is it yes or is it no?
So in 1876.
But I don't remember there being a president who was refusing to turn over the transition of power and facilitated it.
And Trump didn't either. Joe
My
Biden
question was about
became
2024. You did not answer it.
Let me
Thank
say
you
a
for coming
final.
on the
Let me
show.
say a final
Senator
point
Ted
for you.
Cruz,
You
we're
said
out of
they
time.
haven't.
But as I will continue to say, if every possible outcome can be argued as a point in your favor, then maybe the problem is you. Take it away, Tay-Tay.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.